BIT Sindri Alma Connect is here with the first episode of CatMap. CatMap is a series of intellectual interviews of the best performers in CAT from BIT Sindri. Here you will get all the tips, techniques, and strategies from the best achievers. For our audience, we'll be having a special Q&A round at the end that will clear all your CAT related doubts and queries. All you need to do is comment your questions below and they'll be handled at the end. I, Ankita Jha, your host for today, welcomes you all to the first episode of CatMap. Today, we have Mr. Anmol Singh sir as our guest speaker. Sir has done his Btec in metallurgical engineering. He graduated last year and aced the toughest management exam of the country, that is CAT, with 99.92 percentile, which is the highest CAT percentile in the entire history of BIT. Good evening, sir. I feel immensely pleasured to welcome you to this session.
Good evening, Ankita. It's nice to be here.
Yes, sir. Our audience are eagerly waiting to take away all the secret tips and techniques that help you during your preparations. So Anmol sir, let's start from the very beginning. Tell us something about your school days.
Right. So academics is something that has been very important for me right from the very beginning. And I actually remember quite a lot right from my kindergarten all the way up to standard 12. And I'd like to share it all with you so that you can really know that it's not really uphill all the way. There are ups and then there are downs as well in every person's life. So standard 3 is the first time when I got a first rank, and it was the proudest moment of my life up till then. And then in standard 5 there was another peak. I got the award for each and every subject that year, and it was kind of the proudest moment of my life. But after that, my academic performance started declining. I went from the first rank to the 5th rank to the 10th rank, and that is how it has been up till then. Kind of dejected with my life. I really wanted to do something, and which is when CAT was like an opportunity for me to do that, to prove that once again that I am the same Anmol that I was back then.
And now you proved it, that you are the same. As we say, tiger zinda hai. And sir, now tell us something about your life at BIT, and especially what was your first impression about the college?
So I remember seeing BIT for the first time when I came for the admissions here. And I could see the Deshpande auditorium. You could see that there is a bit of legacy. I mean, the BIT speaks for itself. When you just have to enter the BIT campus and just witness it to understand it fully. The legacy is always there. That was my first impression of BIT.
Speaking about legacy, how can we forget BITians are second to none?
BITians are second to none. That's right.
Yes, sir. Now coming to the most common question. After doing Btec, that too from a core branch like metallurgy, why MBA?
So I'll just tell you my secret then. There are two types of people who do MBA. One who want to escape their routine, and the second who want to apply their technical expertise into a management field. I'm the former.
Okay. A very short and crisp answer, to the point.
Do you want me to expand on it?
Yes, sir. Sure, please.
So the question, the question was, why do I want to do
MBA.
an MBA after a technical degree? Right.
Yes, sir.
So see, there's lots of things that you learn while doing a technical degree, and not just a technical degree. In fact, engineering teaches you lots and lots of things, and one of the most important things that it teaches you ironically, is management of time, management of resources, management of friendships, right?
Yes, sir.
That's all I have to say. Yeah.
Don't you feel your branch was a hindrance? I mean, metallurgy, mein heat treatment, iron making, steel making, they are so away from Apti, Quant.
But I was never away from aptitude or quants, to be very honest, because even in my school days, I used to participate in maths quizzes. I used to take part in Olympiads, and I was always the first ranker in school. Talking, so it really never bothered me to be away from it. But yeah, there's a little less of aptitude and all of those things involved in the metallurgical course. Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's fine. And sir, as most of your preparation was done during the pandemic, so did
Right.
the pandemic serve as a hindrance or an opportunity?
No, it was obviously an opportunity. It was definitely an opportunity. You had so much time to do all that you want to do. You could read books to begin with. I mean, I did not get time. I did not feel like reading books when I was in college, but you just had so much to do. And I saw many people just whiling away their times watching web series at the start of the pandemic. If you remember when the pandemic started,
Yes, sir. Yes.
there are a lot of people who started watching shows. Even I did that, but even after 2 weeks, I felt like, what was I doing? This will lead this will lead me to nowhere. I better start preparing. Actually, my CAT preparation also picked up because in my second year, I'd given CAT paper as just a benchmark mock. So just to see where I stand and to get a sense of what the course, what the syllabus is all about. So I scored decently well in that. It was 2017 paper, I think, and it was a 300 mark paper. I scored 121. Just to let all of you know that this is where you will start. In a 300 paper, you can score anywhere from 80 to 120, and that should be a good start. So don't get demotivated if you're starting any lower than that as well. So I knew that 6 to 7 months of preparation should be enough for CAT, and the pandemic started right at the opportune moment, and I started preparing for it.
Yes, sir. And as we all know, we need to starve our distractions to feed our focus. So you did that.
Very well said.
Yes, sir. Now, what was your reaction when you saw your scores? Were you expecting this much or anything else?
I honestly was not expecting this much. Um, but it was not the result day. We actually get our scores much before that. So the paper was on the 28th of November, I think, and the scorecard came out on the 8th of December, if I'm correct. So that is when you start getting an idea that this is the higher 99s. But how high it would go, that was something to be seen only after the result was out. And I was expecting 99.8889. I could sense that. I was not expecting a 99.9x.
Was there a lot of dancing that day in your colony? Some dhol nagada, anything?
No, I am not an expressive person. I do not do that, but my parents definitely did. And my colony members also did that.
Yes, sir. Everyone must be very happy. Now, before moving forward, I would like to remind all our audience that we'll be having a Q&A round at the end of the session. So please feel free to drop your queries and questions in the comment section. Moving on, let's hear about the subject-wise strategies. So Anmol sir, could you please tell us the tips and techniques for quantitative aptitude?
Okay, so let's just say that you have to prepare for aptitude no matter what. Be it CAT, be it for your job interviews, you just need to prepare for aptitude. So just start doing it right away. And it's very simple, to be very honest. It's standard 10th maths. The tips I'd like to share is, I honestly did not have that steep of a learning graph because, as I told, I've always been good at maths. So I'm not sure if I can really help that. Maybe towards the end, if some pointed questions are asked, like very specific, then I'll maybe then I may be able to answer them a little better.
And what was your time frame for quant? I mean, how many hours in a day did you practice?
No, I did not practice at all. Mocks was all I gave.
Okay.
My only preparation revolved around DILR, to be very honest. I did not prepare for VRC, I did not prepare for quants. But the tip, I think, is to just start giving mocks, and with each mock you'll improve. It's kind of an automatic process. You just have to trust the process. You will not see an overnight change, eh, but across 10 mocks, 20 mocks maybe, you'll start seeing the difference. From a 20 mark, you'll go to a 40. That will happen. You just have to trust the process. And
And
there's
then,
no substitute for labor.
yes, sir. And then they also need to analyze the mocks, I guess.
Analyzing is quite frankly, the most crucial part of giving the mock. You can give the mock, but if you don't analyze it, it all goes to waste.
Yes. And how can they increase their speed for quant by going by the mocks? Accuracy.
Yeah. So these are basically two different parameters that you've talked about. You're talking about accuracy and you're talking about speed.
Yes.
And I believe both of them are very crucial to a good performance. Because honestly, if it's a 2 hour paper, everyone can solve every question in it if you give them 4 hours.
Hmm. Yes.
So it becomes very crucial that you solve it quickly enough so that you can attempt more questions. And quite frankly, what I have learned is CAT is not a paper of solving, it's not a completion paper. You have to leave questions in CAT to actually perform well, because the examiner always sets traps for you, and it is very important that you identify those traps at the very beginning and just leave those questions aside. They are time sinks. They will take away all your time and you will not get any time to solve the easier questions. You have to solve the easy questions in CAT, and that is what will ensure a better performance.
Now that was the secret. Choosing the right questions.
Yeah.
So now let's talk about the DILR section. So what was your strategy for this section? As you said, you practiced this.
Yeah. So when I say I practice this, I will still maintain that I did not practice from any course material. My entire attention was towards mocks and solving mocks. I did not solve sets outside of mocks. But yeah, it's tough. I think when you ask someone to just, I don't know, put in words the process, because the process always has been automatic for me. You'll have to, I'll have to think about it.
Because there are many logics to the same question. And with all the different logics, we'll arrive at the same answer. But we need to choose the correct logic in the given time. So how to arrive at that?
Yeah. What I really feel is, if you'll ask for me from a general advice, I would not be able to give that. Maybe. So see, what happens is, if you could show me a question, a DILR set, then I maybe help you. But if you will ask a general advice, so see, there are, okay, I'll try to tell you. There are different types of sets. There are linear arrangements, there are circular arrangements. You need to start practicing them. They will not come in the exam. That is a certainty. They used to come back then, but now they won't come. But you need to start practicing them if you do not have exposure to solving sets or solving puzzles. I had that during my school days, but a lot of the people don't have that. So if you're starting from scratch, if you're really starting from scratch, then you need to start practicing sets. That is all that there is to it. DLR is more about confidence. just 2 weeks before my actual CAT examination, I scored a -2 in DLR section.
That's surprising.
Yeah, so that happens. DLR is largely about confidence and a little bit of luck also.
Oh, yes, sir. And moving forward, now let's talk about a section that many CAT aspirants consider a nightmare. That is the VARC section. So is it so?
Okay, so this mock that I told you about, in which I scored 121, which was the first mock,
Yes.
74 marks came from the VARC section in that mock.
That's
So that
amazing.
is more than 50%.
Yes, sir.
So I knew I did not have to touch VARC at all. Just trust my instinct, and because it's largely logic. If you're able to comprehend something, then you should be fine. VARC is the simplest, provided you have the comprehension ability. Now, where do you get that comprehension ability? I think if you have never read in your life, just start reading now. Now should be a good time, as any.
So,
Because
but people
yeah,
mentally exhausted reading those lengthy passages in that given short time frame.
I really enjoyed reading those passages. In fact, it is said that you should just flirt with the passages and do not fall in love with them. I used to fall in love with the passages. There, the when I was starting my CAT preparations, I used to just marvel at the passages. That has happened. I used to forget that I'm giving a test, and I think that actually plays a very big role. If you're thinking that you're in a test and you need to perform, then you're not paying attention on the passage.
Yes, sir.
7 to 8 minutes is the ideal time that you should be giving into reading a passage. And I think that is many people try to read very quickly, and in the process they lose out on information that is crucial to solving the questions that will come up. So read at a slow pace during the exams. Make sure that you're getting everything correctly. You're registering every piece of information very correctly, and you should be fine.
And how were you so good in VARC? I mean, when did you start preparing for this section? Did you started reading novels from your school days or anything?
Yeah, I used to read when I was a kid, but then I kind of lost that towards my college life, when my college life began. But then I started reading again. In fact, currently I'm reading a book called, if anyone wants to know, Struck by Genius, if you can see.
Yes.
So what I would suggest is pick up unconventional books, start reading them. There's really no substitute to it. Even if you're not giving CAT, just read books.
And we have also heard that newspapers help. So do you agree?
I've never read a newspaper in my life.
Oh.
I mean, if we do have the subscription to Telegraph, but I open the T2 part of it, which is the fun section. I solve the crossword in it, and I just keep the paper away. I've never read an article or any tutorials. I don't think it's very necessary. If you like doing it, do it. I get my news from Twitter.
This is very opposite to what people say. And this again added to your success.
My preparation has been unconventional.
Yes, yes. That's what now, by talking to you, I'm getting to know it's very unconventional.
Which is why it was also hard to believe that I got this much. Yeah, you were saying.
Yes. I was saying that you are from VIT, so you must be knowing there are many who are not comfortable with English. So वैसे बच्चों के लिए वो.
तो मैं क्या कंफर्टेबल लग रहा हूँ इंग्लिश में? मेरी भी आप नोटिस कर ही रहे होगे. ऐसी कोई बात नहीं है. जस्ट ट्रस्ट योरसेल्फ. If you can't speak, just stand in front of a mirror and start talking. Give yourself a topic. Google पे जाओ, रैंडम वर्ड जनरेटर खोलो, एक वर्ड ले लो और उस पर 1 मिनट बात करो. BIT में the problem is people don't talk with each other in English.
Yes, sir.
If we could start doing it, you will see a difference.
This advice will definitely help a lot. And speaking English will help everyone, like in GD also, in PI also.
Obviously, but in GD, it's more about the confidence, really. They're not really looking at your communication skills. I mean, you can be good, and that's really an advantage, but it's really about the confidence and your content, the pointers that you're making. But it does help. It is said that it is the first impression that you're making on a person.
First impression is the last impression. Yes, sir. And so there are a lot many doubts. A lot many people think that for VARC section we need to have a great vocabulary. Is it so?
See, I've not given other examinations, but what I've heard is if you're preparing for other examinations like SNAP and NMAT, I guess, for that you'll specifically need a good vocabulary to score well. But CAT-ME, I don't think it's really necessary. Comprehension is the key. Comprehension is the key.
And many misunderstand comprehension with having a great vocabulary. Like if you don't understand the meaning of the word, you won't be able to do.
See, in every sentence there are 5 words behind the word that you have not understood, and then there are 5 words in front of the word that you have not understood. That is sufficient for the context.
Yes, sir. Understood. So now tell us something about the D-Day. How should one stay calm on the day of the exam? Yeah, what was your unconventional strategy?
Yeah, I might be the worst person to talk about being calm on the D-Day. I actually almost fainted while giving the exam. So for that, I might have to tell you a little bit about myself. I contracted COVID, and unlike most other people, it developed into long COVID. And now long COVID has symptoms. It has lingering symptoms. One of the symptoms is brain fog and dizziness. So I actually got dizzy during the exam. So, but then there are other things also running in your mind that you've been preparing for 2 years for this. Last year you did not perform well, and all of your preparation just depends on this moment. So you just need to buckle up and just give it your all, really, because that it's the 2 hours that is going to decide everything.
Yes, sir. And so, as you said that you would not practice much, all you did was giving mocks. So, how many mocks in total did you give?
Okay, might be around 30, 35. But I actually started monitoring my mocks. Yeah. Um, if I could count the mocks that I gave previous year, it would come around 50, 55, not more than that. I've taken 2 test series subscription. So all they give you is 15 to 20 mocks.
So, these many were enough for you.
Felt like, yeah.
Yes, sir. And it proves also. So, moving ahead, have you figured out your specialization for MBA? As you said, you loved maths and quant. So, is finance going to be your subject?
Finance is, I've tried learning finance a lot, but it's very difficult. Despite what people say, that if you're good at maths, you're good at quants, you understand numbers, then finance is the specialization for you. But see, when actual finance starts, when you're learning about discounted cash flows, when you're learning about valuations, it will just I do have a specialization in mind. I think because I understand emotions better, I think I'm a storyteller, and not a story narrator, but just a storyteller. So I think I'll choose marketing. That is what I'm thinking right now. But obviously, MBA is an open field where will you go there and you learn about, maybe you'll get such good professors that they'll make you like finance. Who's to
Yes.
say that that won't happen?
Yes. Who knows the future?
Yeah.
You also Pressy of A. Isaac, so will that also help you
I'm
in
hoping.
your specialization?
Uh, the internet connection is unstable. I could not get what you were saying.
Sir, I asked you, you were also Pressy of A. Isaac, so will that presidentship also help you in choosing your specialization, like marketing?
In choosing the specialization, might be because yeah, a lot of the things that I did as president was focused towards marketing. So yeah,
Yes.
that was my first exposure towards marketing.
Yes, sir.
I'm hoping it helps.
It will surely. We will pray. And any advice for our freshers who are preparing for CAT? All our BIT freshers, because you must be knowing that students get a lot of time in BIT. So how should they manage that and focus towards the right direction?
Stay a little less active on WhatsApp, Instagram is my first advice, because when you stop doing that, you'll actually want to do something else.
Hmm.
Those are very, very, very big time drainers. And the point is that you won't realize it until you get off of those platforms for at least a week.
But then they'll get a lot of free time. And as we know, Khali Dimag Shaitan ka ghar. They need to occupy their minds into something productive, no?
Motivation is not really something that I'm good at. Just start studying, man. Just start studying for anything in life. You'll extract information from places that you never thought were possible. Observe people. If you're talking to them, just observe people, how they react with each other. Say somebody cracked a joke, see what was his reaction. There's a lot of information right there which we don't extract.
Yes. Observation is the key. Now, I would like to welcome my co host Payal for handling all the questions that our audience asked till now. And I'll also encourage my audience to keep on asking questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. So I'll be reading out the questions that are put over the comment section by our audience for Anmol, sir. The first question comes from transition transfers. Sir, any thoughts on IP mat?
What was the name?
Sorry, sir, it's a random name over here. It's transition transfers.
No, I don't know about IP mat, to be very honest.
Okay, so the next question comes from Ankit Kumar. What's the importance of 10th and 12th marks in CAT exam?
For the exam, it's not important, but when the further processes start, or like the interview calls and all, then it becomes really important. So I have a 99.92, and yet I did not get calls from Bangalore, Kozhikode, and Lucknow. So it will start playing a part then.
Okay, sir, that's really helpful.
Could you ask this person what their scores are also for a later message?
Sure, sir. Our team will take a follow-up. So the next question comes from Prakhar Agarwal. Which MBA specialization are you going to choose?
I think I said that I'll choose marketing as my major, and then I'll choose maybe finance as my minors.
Okay, so the next question comes from Shubham Shahu. What all things you did to reduce the anxiety which generally occurs while preparing for prestigious exam like CAT?
Preparation, what's there to be anxious about? You can get anxious on the day of the exam, but
And maybe results.
I just say don't focus on the outcome. Think of it as a process, and just keep doing whatever you're doing.
Yeah, I hope Shubham Shahu got the answer. The next question is, what's your strategy for PI preparation?
No, it's a fresh territory for me as well, and I hope I nail it as well as I did the CAT exam, but really, I don't have anything to say for that. I hope it goes well.
Sure, sir, it will. So the next question is, which college you are aiming for right now?
Whichever one calls me. Like I told you, Bangalore, Kozhikode, and Lucknow have not even called me. I have calls from Calcutta, and that is my best call till now. But I'm hoping that Ahmedabad will also give a call, and then I'll try to convert Ahmedabad.
Okay, sir. So the next question is, aren't you trembled when your batchmates were getting placed and you are preparing for one of the toughest exam of India, that's CAT?
Yeah, it's one of the toughest decisions I've ever taken, because it's the first time in my life that I felt stagnant. Others were moving in towards their new journey. They were becoming adults, as to so to say, and yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
So the result says it all, sir. You don't have to answerable for it. The next question is, what's the importance of extracurricular activities for getting a good college in CAT?
See, like I said, I've not been through the process, but I hope they will be helpful, because the extracurricular activities that you do surely build personality. They teach you a lot of things.
Yes, sir, for sure. Sir, one student is asking that, is the difficulty level same? Is the fear same as you got in while giving your JE exam? What's the difference between your JE exam and your CAT exam?
That's interesting. See, I'm the type of person who cannot sleep a day before the exam. And what I've seen is, if you're nervous about the outcome, you'll always be anxious. But yeah, what was the question exactly?
Sir, the audience want to ask that what's the difference you felt in your while giving your JE exam and your CAT exam?
Okay. So I think this person is expecting a more technical answer. JA is a lot about knowledge, for starters. JMA, you will have to know the concepts very well. And JE is much more extensive than CAT. CAT ka syllabus is very limited. JE is very extensive.
Okay, so the next question is, what drives you to work hard? Is it the hunger for good results or the appreciation you get after getting good results?
No, the appreciation has never been a factor in deciding that.
Okay, sir.
I think it's the drive to make an impact, honestly. To be in a position where you can drive change.
So you surely had made an impact. So the next question is from CS Prashad. Which institute should we choose for preparation, either online or offline?
Okay. So first of all, this is for everybody. First, give a benchmark mock. You can find previous year's CAT papers, and you will find the score versus percentile mapping of each year. Just give a mock and see if you need coaching to begin with or not, or if the test series are fine. But the test series, the mock series, that is the most crucial element of CAT preparation. So that is how you should start. Just give a benchmark mock and assess if you need a coaching institute or not. And then if you're asking about specifics, anyone from the top three, which is Time, IMS, and or Career Launcher, anyone from the three would be sufficient.
Yes, so the next question comes from Ayush, that if he scored good in marks in CAT exam, what kind of job opportunities are there for him?
Don't do CAT for a job, seriously. But See, after a bachelor's degree, this is a master's degree. So definitely there will be a lot of there will be a lot more options for you when you don't think about the job will just happen to you. It will be the outcome. It will automatically happen. Just focus on upskilling yourself every day.
Okay, sir. The next question is, what's the importance of CGP of college in CAT exam while getting college?
See, every college, every B school has a separate criteria. Some of them will consider grad score, and some of them will not consider grad score. The calls that I do not have did consider grad score, and my final CGPA was 7.91, and it's usually not a very good score in their opinion. So yeah, just you can prepare for CAT. You do get a lot of time, but please maintain your CGPAs. That is very important.
Okay, so I hope you got I hope the audience might get the answer. The last question is, did you join any coaching for your preparation?
No, I did not.
So you did all this by yourself. That's really motivating, sir. If anyone has any further question, you can put it over the comment section.
While our audience is asking their questions, I would like to ask, sir, that as we are live on YouTube and this video will remain there forever, so what final message would you like to give to our audience?
Okay, sir, we got a question from Imran. Sir, how to improve for VARC section?
Yeah, I think I said that earlier too. Just start reading, and if you're new to reading, if you've never read before, just focus on comprehending. That is key. You can start by reading Chetan Bhagat. That is a very simple read. Most people start by reading Chetan Bhagat. I've frankly only read one novel of Chetan Bhagat, but then you should start moving on to other genres and other authors as well. I personally read a lot of non-fiction. I do not read fiction because eventually on CAT in the CAT exam, most of the passages are non-fiction. Some are from psychology, some are from mythology, and all sorts of some are from economics as well. So yeah.
Yes, sir. Another question comes from Ashi. You want to suggest any best materials for preparation of CAT?
I think the Arun Sharma books are good. I did have them, but I never really, especially the theory part. And what I feel is more what most people do is they skip the theory part and they just start solving. If you have the Arun Sharma books with you, that is the go-to book to have, first of all, for CAT preparation. If you have that book, just go through what he has said at the start of the chapter. That will be very important for you later, before you start solving anything. So Arun Sharma books are great. You can have that.
Okay, sir. Sir, another question comes from the same person. What skills you tried to learn during the first 2 years of your Btec degree?
It's not that long back, but I feel like it's been 10 years. If I remember, yeah, I think I did some courses on Coursera. I started venturing out, but that's about it. Yeah, I did not do a lot of upskilling in my first 2 years.
Yes, sir. Another question comes from Repti Raman. Any suggestions for SOP of CAT round?
SOP. So this person might have given CAT, I'm guessing. I would say just make it experiential. Your personality should reflect through your SOP, because anyway, when they interview you, they'll see what you are like. And then there should not be a very big disconnect between what you have written and what you're presenting yourself as. Just make it experiential, give your life journey, and make sure that your personality comes through in the SOP.
Okay, sir. Another question comes from some casual player that what's the difference between CAT, MAT, and ZAT? What should be the strategy to prepare for these exams separately?
Okay, so I have given ZAT once, not this year, but last year. And I don't think there a separate preparation is required for the other exams. Just prepare for CAT, and then all the other exams should be a breeze.
Okay, sir. Any advice for freshers of 2021 who are preparing right now for CAT?
Yeah, that's a very general question. I think I've spoken about it a lot. Start reading for VARC, start solving sets for DILR, and then start solving quant questions for work on your aptitude.
Okay, sir. I request once again to the audience, if you have any further question, you can put it over the comment section. Yes, sir. We got one question that what's your next target or next thing you want to achieve or the next exam you want to crack, just like you have cracked CAT with so good percentile?
See, the next thing that I really want to do is get a good B school convert. See, this percentile would become irrelevant if I do not get a good convert. So that is my next target. But then after that, obviously your target will change. Then I would hope to become the gold medalist of that college. But that's too far down the line.
So next question comes from Ashi. How to prepare for GK, which is asked in some of the OMATs.
So I wouldn't know about the exam which she's talking about specifically, but I keep myself updated through Twitter. But the general advice is start reading newspapers. Just start reading. Or if you can keep yourself updated any other way, I frankly find it very boring to read newspapers, to be updated. Twitter is where you can, Twitter or even Reddit is where you can get news, and simultaneously you can get people's opinion as well.
I guess that is it from the audience side. Over to Ankita ma'am.
I asked my question, sir. The final piece of advice.
That again is a very broad question. I don't know. Just trust yourself. There will be times when you'll have to trust yourself when no one else is trusting you. You'll get mocked. You'll be called stupid. If you show courage, you'll be called stupid. That will happen. Just trust yourself and work on yourself every day a little bit. Just make sure that at the end of the day, you're a better person than you were when the day started. And then that is a general advice. It will work for you in anything.
Yes, sir. And it will work for everyone. So coming to the end, thank you so much, Anmol sir, for such an insightful session. These tips and all those techniques and your unconventional strategies will help all our aspirants. And on behalf of entire BITSA fraternity, I wish you all the very best for your future endeavors.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Ankita. Thanks, Payal.
Thank you, sir.